What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to O'Leary's Garden, where life is a garden. Today for you, I've got an update on the quote-unquote homestead. Someday we're getting there. I have to retract an endorsement I made on a product, and I'm going to show you some things you may or may not have known about chicken feed. So as far as the homestead update goes, we've built a fence twice. Originally, I had made the fence out of these metal stakes that you can get at Lowe's for like $4.70. But I didn't like it because these are 6 foot long, and I was using that 5 foot wire there. And you only got about a foot buried in the ground. It might be a little more, but it looks like maybe 14 inches. But still, I just wasn't happy with how sturdy they were, and they just weren't pretty enough for me. I mean, I'll show you. Now look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this. So I redid the whole thing with wooden posts. These you can also get from Lowe's. They are approximately 6 foot long. They're $5 or $6 a piece. And I buried about a foot to 18 inches each in the ground. They're a little longer than 6 foot, even though that's what they say. Most of them I have about 18 inches in the ground with a half a bag of Saccrete per post. Then I use these galvanized staples, livestock staples, I think that's what they're called. These beautiful gates I also got from Lowe's. These are a no-dig fencing that are $30 for 2 panels. So what I did here is I took these fence posts, have this little hoobie doop right there, see, that hooks in to the opposite side, right? So I just dug some eyelets, screw eyes, wood threaded into the wooden posts. I set those right down in there, and then I am locking it just like this. That's it. Oh, that went well. What are we doing? No, see, there we go. Can't go nowhere. Now the livestock doggy can, oh, it came open. If you're thinking of doing this on your own, you may want to do some independent research and figure out your own way to do the locking mechanism, because mine don't work. Now the reason we put this fence in is so that these little guys have themselves a nice big area to dig for food. And that brings us back to all the seeds that we started some time ago after we had this area tarped. And we're starting to get some stuff coming up here. Right over there, we got that guy. We got tons of little ones. It's all these little bright green ones. The little babies, not the oh, they like this spot, not the grass. You can see they're blowing up over here. Now, unfortunately, the chickens have done a pretty good number to this little spot in the month or so that they've been out here. I don't know if you can remember, but you can see right on the other side of the fence, that looked like that right before they got in here. Well, not quite like that, because I just cut the grass yesterday, so I'm wrong again. So before we continue on to the chicken food, I just want to go ahead and get this whole product mention thing over with. I'm really sorry to have to do this, and I'm even sorrier to anybody who actually spent money on this product on my recommendation and went through the same thing that I did. These sandbags don't like the sun. I mean, I've had these sitting out here no longer than a month. I would guarantee. We've only been in the house 2 months. I guess almost 3. Whatever. They should last years. I mean, who's using a sandbag inside? They should last outside. I mean, it's so brittle you can't even. Watch this. See that? You heard it. I just broke it. You want to do it again? Let's go do another one. Here, there's one right over here. These aren't worth nothing. Not in the sun. Ready? I'm going to pick it up. This is less than 25 pounds. No, it's not. It's 25 pounds. Okay, so there's 25 pounds in here. So again, I would like to apologize for recommending that product to you. I made a mistake. It's very important to me that my word is worth something to you when I recommend you a product. And I was a little naive in thinking that, well, it held sand when I threw it on the tarp, so here we go. And I'm just getting started with this thing. I will not do it again. I promise. Thank you for your continued support. On to the chicken food. That's a beak. I made it myself. So this first thing I want to show you is just like this right here. Now this is called white millet. Millet is something that you can find in almost any commercial bird seed you want. And inevitably, the birds are going to knock some on the ground, and it grows just like corn. And believe it or not, it'll typically grow right underneath your bird feeder, as long as you leave it alone. So then what do? You just let it go until you get a couple of these. Right here. These little seed heads that grow right on top of it. And watch this. You know, I don't know. It seems like they like it. Where did it go? So I tend to just take, they like the leaves too, so I actually just pull up the whole plant. You can see the stalks in here from the previous ones. They usually eat it up pretty good. And I'll just drop the whole thing right there on the ground. And you can see them pecking at the leaves too. They like the whole thing. There's, you know, they're not going to eat everything, but you can see these. They've cleaned them up pretty good. The second thing I got for you is this right here. This is compost. Pretty fresh stuff too. I don't know if you can see all the, there's a little, where'd it go? There's a mealworm. There's a bunch of little bugaboos in there. And they tear this stuff up. There you go. See all that wiggling? Lots of little protein stuff in there. And when I dump this scoop in there, you'll see they don't care about that white millet anymore. So some of the main messages that I'm trying to send your way, excuse me, are that one, it's important to try and close the loop of any waste or extra kind of weeds or plants, any kind of biomass that you're growing, whether it be a weed or in your garden on purpose. It can probably feed your chickens. And that cuts down on your feed cost. And it's probably probably more nutritious than anything that you buy from them for them in a bag. Now, I'm not going crazy in depth into, exactly what you can feed your chickens and what you can't feed your chickens. I probably will do a video like that in the future. Right now, I'm feeding my chickens white millet and compost because it's what I have on hand right now. Like I showed you, I'm doing that little pasture type deal in the back. Honestly, it's probably not going to be established enough to handle chickens by the time they're ready to get out, because they ate through this little bit of run I gave them a lot faster than I thought, and they grew a lot faster than I thought. So that's why we have this fenced in area, getting done, so that we can get them out. You're gonna screw up if you want to get into doing this, which don't get discouraged by this fact. Keep doing it anyway. You're gonna kill something. You're gonna kill a creature, a cute little animal, whether it be a chicken or a rabbit or a quail or fish or goats or pigeons or anything, alpaca, a cow. You're gonna kill something. It's unavoidable. And it's okay. I mean, you feel like shit. But you're gonna feel like shit. You just have to learn from it. You're caring for lives here, and life is a miracle after all, right? So, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and move forward and take something from it that helps you care better for the rest of them. Give them the best life that you possibly can while they are giving that life to fill your stomach and feed your garden, which fills your stomach. So if you're growing a garden and you're doing chickens, you got grass to cut your grass, take up those clippings, throw them in there, start your compost pile. You can even start it in where the chickens are going. That's what we're going to be doing here. Right there. We're going to be putting all the kitchen scraps. They're going to start in that area, and they're going to work their way over here, kind of get turned. I saw this on YouTube. I thought it was pretty cool. I figured we might try it ourselves, since this whole pasture thing, see, this is what I'm talking about. You got to learn from your mistakes. So since I killed all the grass back here, and I planted some seed and tried to get a pasture established in in 6 weeks, was it? Like a boob. I'm gonna compost. We're gonna do the compost back here. And the chickens are gonna eat the compost. And all the little bugaboos in the compost. And we got a good area around here yet, and the grass is real tall. They're gonna have plenty to munch on. They do pretty good at finding their own food. When they get rid of everything on the surface that you give them, that pile of compost and everything, they start turning stuff up and look for the little bugs themselves. Thanks for watching, guys. I've had a blast, and we'll see you next time. But before you go, please help support the work we're doing by doing your Amazon shopping at www.o'learylink.com. It would mean the world to me. Now, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.